Hello, football fans. Things are getting very, very chaotic entering week number 16 of this season. There's 3 weeks left, counting this upcoming week. And a lot of teams overall can get in. Nine, to be exact. 9 teams can clinch playoff spots. So, as a result of this, I'm going to separate this into two videos per conference. And first, I'm going to talk about the AFC. The AFC playoff picture is very interesting, and here it is in front of you. The Denver Broncos are 12-2 and are in the playoffs, officially in, and they lead the conference over the New England Patriots, who dropped to 11-3 after losing to Buffalo, but they currently hold the second spot. At number 3, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, still holding firm in that AFC South. And at number 4, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, who got that win on Monday night and stayed ahead of the Ravens in the AFC North. Regarding the wild cards, seeds 5, 6, and 7, you have the Chargers and Bills tied at 10-4, but the Chargers still have a better conference record than Buffalo, which puts LA at 5 and Buffalo at 6. And at 7, it's still the Houston Texans, who are still winning games left and right at the right time too. Regarding what's behind the line, there is not much behind the line in the AFC. After a few more eliminations, including one that we all enjoy, the Kansas City Chiefs, there are still 2 teams left behind the line that still have some semblance of a shot. The Colts and the Ravens. That's it. That's it. The Colts are a game behind Houston. Well, technically 2, because Houston's got the head-to-head over them at the moment. They're a game behind Houston and 2 games out of first place. They still have a shot at least a wild card and possibly the division. As for Baltimore, well, Baltimore's not completely eliminated from wild card consideration, but it's safe to say their only chance is the division. They're a game behind Pittsburgh in the AFC North, and they still have that that rematch coming up at the end of the season, the final week. So we'll see how that goes there. But that's the picture right there. As I said, regarding the AFC, 4 teams can clinch, and quite a bit could be locked up too. So here are the scenarios in the AFC. As I said before, the Broncos, winners of 11 straight now, locked in the playoff spot, the first AFC team to do so. But the job's not done for them. But they can get everything this week. They can. First off, they can clinch the division. If a win, a Chargers loss or tie, or a tie and a Chargers loss, that'll give them the division. Their first division title since 20 was it 26 2015, which was also the last division title won by, it was also the last AFC West title won by a team not named the Chiefs. That was the last one, and then the Chiefs won like a whole bunch in a row. Oh yeah. Regarding that first scenario, win and a Chargers loss or tie, if you add a Patriots loss and a Bills loss or tie, then Denver will lock up the number 1 seed. The road to the AFC will go through mile high. Pretty much like the road to the NHL does. But anyway, oh yeah, and the Broncos, they got a tough opponent. They're at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday. The Patriots had the chance to lock up the AFC East this past week, but they had the lead, but Buffalo came back on them, so that put the kibosh and on the division plans at the interim. They are still leading that division, but it's by 1 game, and now there's a split in that important season series between them and Buffalo. Now New England may have to wait a bit to get to the division, but they can get in the playoffs. All they have to do, win or tie. That's it. Just win or tie. If not, either a loss, either Indy or Houston has to lose or tie. That's it. Just either one of those two, losers or ties, New England gets in. And the Patriots play against the Ravens. That's on Sunday Night Football this week. Jaguars. I'm very happy that the Jaguars are doing so well, especially after the last 2 years were kind of disappointing. Of course, I remember 22 was the year they won the division. They came back and won the division somehow, and the year after that, they had a chance to win the division again, but they fell apart at the wrong time and ended up out of the playoffs. So last year was just a disaster for them. But this year they're getting it together, they're getting the wins together, and they really look like a legit team in this conference. And this week they can get in the playoffs again. They're in Denver this week, but their road goes like this: a win and either a Colts or Texans loss or tie gets them in. If the Jags tie, they can get in if the Colts lose, or if the Colts tie and Houston loses. There you go. Another team whose good season makes me happy: the Chargers. Chargers. It's been a while since they made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. Matter of fact, they have not made the playoffs in back-to-back years since they moved to LA. This is their ninth season. This is their ninth season in LA. They moved to LA a year after the Rams returned there. This is year 9 there. The last time they made the playoffs in back-to-back years, you had to go back to the end of the first decade of the century, the 2000s. You had to go to 2006 to '09. Those 4 years where the then San Diego Chargers won the division 4 years in a row. So yeah, it's been kind of rough for the Chargers, but they can get back in this. They can get back in this year. What do they have? What do they have to do? What do they have to do? Look at Jacksonville scenarios, and you'll find the Chargers. They have the exact same scenarios. Win, and either Indy loses or win, and either Indy or Houston loses or ties. If they tie, either Indy has to lose, or Indy has to tie and Houston has to lose. That's how that goes. The Chargers are in Jerry World this week playing against the Cowboys. Finally, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills saved their division chances with that big comeback win against the Patriots, and now they're in. They got their first scenario of the season. They have a chance to get in, and maybe they might win the division if things kind of go right with Patriots losing 1 or 2 games, maybe. But Buffalo's scenario is almost identical to the Chargers and Jags, almost. A win and either a Colts or Texans loss or tie. If they tie, either Indy or Houston has to lose. There's no Indy tie in there like the other 2 teams. And of course, the Bills. The Bills are in Cleveland on Sunday. And regarding Indy and Houston, who are part of these scenarios, Houston plays the Raiders on Sunday's late window, and the Colts host the 49ers on Monday Night Football. So yeah, the AFC playoff picture, it's wild, it's crazy, it's interesting. Denver can get it. Denver can clinch it all this week, which will allow 2 free weeks to pretty much rest people, and it should be interesting to see what happens in Week 16. So that's a look at the AFC's playoff picture. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. And the link above, that's my story on Vocal. Check it out where you can. And I'll talk about the NFC soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe a little bit earlier. Maybe a little bit earlier than tomorrow, if I'm excited of it. I am excited for what's happening in the NFC, but I will get to that very, very soon. So stay tuned for that.